The bad news is the sentiment around immigration, I think, is going to get worse in the near future, especially in Europe and maybe in America. But the good news, a loads of immigrants will have a once in a lifetime chance to actually improve their lives and their status as an immigrant in the countries they are. In my particular case, it's the UK. Let me tell you why exactly. And I'll give you also a proof that what I say resonates with natives and they really want you to succeed. You just don't know how. A few days ago, I recorded a video, and by now it's the most popular video on my channel. Out of few hundred comments from natives who are supporting what I'm saying there were few comments from immigrants like myself who wanted to disagree with my idea of assimilation, integration being the most important job every immigrant has. And that comes down to you and me. There was one particular comment from somebody saying, very bitter comment, when the person saying, why would I want to integrate? I tried so many times and they hate me, right? They as British, right? And there's something about like, oh, I have so much to offer and they just don't understand, the usual. Let me tell you this. If that's you thinking, if that's how you think, I think you already lost. Okay, so that video might not be for you. But if you are ambitious person being in a different country, doesn't matter what country, you feel like there's more for you and you can give more without being too much focused on your own ego, then this video is for you. The number one job for every immigrant, in my opinion, is to actually assimilate, integrate within the society and the country we are in. Okay, again, my case, I'm in the UK. So I've been working very, very hard to become a part of the society I am living with. It was shocking for me to discover that once I really became serious about that and I spent tons of time and energy actually learning, integrating, my life quality improved drastically. Okay, I went from this typical confused immigrant, like I'm not home, but I'm kind of home. I don't know if I belong, probably not. People probably hate me, or maybe they don't understand me. And I have so much to offer, but they don't get it. To somebody who actually understood others and what they want from me and how I can make it all work. You see, I think everything starts and ends in our heads, the way we think and we see ourselves. You've probably heard about supply and demand, right? And you probably heard about 90% of businesses failing. Like that's just general rule. And the reason is for those businesses to fail that because founders, people who start businesses, do not understand demand and supply. They have this idea in their head that the business they're going to build is going to be amazing. Everybody will want it, right? I've got this product. I'm not going to tell anyone about it because it's so good, so I'm going to keep it secret. And then I'm going to build everything around it, the business. And once it's there, everybody would pay money for it. And I've seen it over and over, across many years of me being being an entrepreneur. People keep doing it. And then they just realize that there is no demand. So they build the product nobody wants to pay for. And it's basically killing their business. And you see, the problem is not maybe itself the product, but it's the mindset of the founder that in their head, they were so good that they forgot to actually check what's the reality out there. So if you think about yourself as an immigrant or somebody who's posting, comments about, oh, I have so much to offer, why they don't understand, I would encourage you to re-examine that, okay, that thought, because I think, or I guarantee you, 99.999% of you, it's ego-driven or insecurities-driven thought, okay? If any of us was so valuable, if we had so much value to add, I also guarantee you would be headhunted. There will be people calling you, coming to you and offering you anything in order for you to come. Remember, I think a year ago or 2 years ago, there was a shortage of truck drivers in the UK. Do you think a truck drivers back then would have to ask to get a job, would have to prove their value. No, they were so much needed that people, the UK government decided to put, like, I think triple up their salary, basically make almost 100k a year or something, for people to come and drive trucks. Okay, that's the demand and supply. And it goes exactly the same when it comes to immigration. Just because you feel inferior doesn't mean you are inferior. No, nothing like it. I believe each one of us has got some talents. That's a different story that most people don't understand where the talents are. That's why, because we're being stuck in 9 to 5s, the jobs we hate all our lives. That's a different story. But each one of us has got something to offer. But that's not our strength. We're not coming to a different country demanding for everyone to look at me, listen to me. It's me coming. Now I want to offer you things. No, that's not how it works. In order to be really, really integrated into a society, you're going to have to do a lot of work listening to them, natives, what they want, what they say. You need to pay attention to details, okay? It's easy to get distracted in today's world because you go on the internet and you see all these very polarizing, opinions, either very, very far left or far right, and they're just clashing, in front of everyone. And that's not true. That's not reality. But if you go out there and you actually spend time with people, you will understand that what they really expect, what they really want, is somewhere in the middle. It's somewhere where most of us immigrants can definitely meet in the middle, right? We can definitely do enough for native population to accept us and actually start seeing the value we have to offer, okay? There's nothing worse than coming out of nowhere to a different country or even to my house. Somebody knocks the door. I say, yes, hello. He walks in and say, haha, look at me. I'm great. I do this. And then it's just like not taking shoes because that's the rule in my house. You see what I'm saying? You're going to have to start from being quiet, okay, talking less, watching, and integrating, going out there more, not on internet, because internet is very toxic. It's very distorted. You're going to have to go out there and speak to real natives, okay? It's not going to be comfortable. I get it. But that's the way you build your confidence in your life. And trust me, your life will improve times 100 millions if you start doing it, if you start being serious about integrating into society properly. Lots of people would say, oh, but what about my identity? Look, you can be you. Nothing wrong with that. You can eat your favorite meals. You can do favorite things, have your faith. Absolutely fine. Just because you integrate into society doesn't mean you lose your identity. It's like, like a mobile phone. Let's say it's an iPhone. That's actually an Android. Let's say that's a society. And you are the app. Okay, so I download the app on my phone and the app integrates seemingly with the phone. So I can use it. When I use it, it's perfect. When I don't use it, I don't care what the app does, right? That's exactly the same story with you. If you are the app which is not integrating, which crashes every time I want to use it, keeps crashing, I want to delete that app, right? If you're the app which does what it's supposed to be doing, and on the other, at the times where I don't use you, there's a whole bunch of stories behind it that which is your life. Absolutely fine. Nobody's got a problem with that. And this exactly leads to the success, okay? Let me tell you this. The most successful business deals in my life, the most successful connections I've ever built were directly related of connecting with other person. It wasn't directly connected to my work experience or my business experience, where I came from. That was not the most important part. The most important part was I built a meaningful connection with somebody else. It translated into a lot of business and lots of friends, a lot of big network of other entrepreneurs and people I can work with or I call friends. Everybody can do it. The secret is you're gonna have to stop thinking like a typical immigrant with a chip on their shoulder, feeling inferior, and then blaming everyone else for their problems, okay? It's not natives' fault that you feel this way. It's just the way of an immigrant, right? The way of samurai. That's the way of immigrant. That's what we have to face. Yes, they might not understand you sometimes. Then you might not understand them. Maybe you're not going to get a joke. I know it sucks, but that is it. That's the reality. As soon as you accept it, I will guarantee you, you will improve your life like nothing else. There is no other book, no motivational quotes, nothing comes close to improving your life more than actually becoming part of a society, part of the country. And the bonus is you are going to see the change around you. You're going to see the change in people who are hanging around with you, or you hang around with. You're going to change. You're going to see the change in how people treat you. You're going to see a change in the network you have, different type of friendships, and it's going to be built gradually. So don't try to be all in, do it too fast, too quick, too much, too quick. But it will get there, and it's not going to take you years. It can be done in months. Okay, but you just have to be serious and forget any other business advice out there on the internet if you are not understanding how integration into society has actually got a real impact on your success in business or in private life. Okay, think about this. If you think this is dangerous for who you are, you might lose yourself, or it triggers you, leave me a comment, tell me about this. But I would say pay attention to it, because if it triggers you, there is some trauma in you which you must pay attention. You must resolve it. Okay, it's not their fault. It's not British, English, Germans, wherever you are. That's not their fault. Of course, there are problems with immigrations. Of course, there are many, loads of them. But you can't change politics. We can't change the world. We can change ourselves, and we should start from ourselves. So I encourage you to do so. Do it for yourself. If not for the country you're in, although it's nice, I would encourage you to do so as a thank you. Do it for yourself and for your family, and you will see a huge difference. Okay, and I don't care where you're coming from. Of course, again, it's not for everyone. Not everybody is gonna change meaning. Change their life so much, or will be willing to change. Most people don't want to do anything because it involves lots of introspection, and there will be some pain to look into. But there's nothing better. And my life, really, I keep talking about, that's the whole idea about this channel, really, to just encourage you to be more open to it and try doing things, but don't jump into, oh, I want to be an entrepreneur. No, how about you try to become an immigrant who feels at home? And then build connections, and then network more. And then, if you feel entrepreneurial, I guarantee the business will find you, not the other way around. Right, that's it. If you like that video, please leave me a like. Consider subscribing to my channel if you're not subscribing yet. Thank you so much for all your support, especially all of you natives who are giving me thumbs up and all the good comments. It's really, really important for me, because it tells me I'm doing something right. I am passionate about what I'm saying. I really want to help people. I want to spread positivity around, not just, wishy-washy positive. This is how we make positive changes. This is how we became more positive, and it will affect everything. Can I change the country? Probably not. Can I change the immigration and remove problems? No, I can't. But I can make a small dent, a difference, little difference, and then maybe somebody else can fix another part. Maybe we can all end up in a better country. And if not, then at least I tried. Thanks so much for your time, for your support. I'll see you soon. Cheers.